is there to help the student. Is there to help the student. But if the student rejects the rabbi, then the rabbi is no longer a rabbi. The rabbi is empowered by the student being a student, not by the rabbi knowing certain information. Because even if the rabbi knows a lot of information, but the student decides to arrive at their own conclusions and listen to their own logic and their own understanding, they make themselves their own rabbi. Well, guess what? That rabbi is no different than any other major scholar that ever lived or any other average Jew. Why? Because you're not listening to them. The same thing when people sometimes, like I said before, sometimes people tell me, oh, you're my rabbi, you're my rabbi. But the moment that I give them any type of guidance, I don't agree with you. Oh, okay. So stop calling me your rabbi. Why? Because if a person understood their obligations to the rabbi says jump, person jumps. Rabbi says go, you go. Not because the rabbi is a overlord over the person, but rather because the person knows that the rabbi's interest is in line with yours. He wants your best. And sometimes he knows more about your best than you do. Why? Because he's looking at it from a Torah perspective, not from a logical perspective that people look at themselves. When a person evaluates their life, they look at it from their own logical perspective that sometimes is full of things that are distracting, like lust, like ambitions, like desires, like addictions. But when the rabbi gives you guidance, he's giving you guidance based on the Torah perspective. In so many words, he's giving you what the Torah says. So when he's telling you something, you have to do it because in essence, he's telling you this is what Torah is telling you right now. So when you don't listen to the rabbi, not only is he not a rabbi anymore, but you're also not following the Torah. You also don't believe in Chachamim that are representing the Torah. And that's one of the problems that people have. They'll tell somebody, I'm the rabbi, until the rabbi is, crossing the line. As if there's such a line. And that's why I tell people, that many times that, people ask, well, can you be my rabbi? Me being your rabbi, me not being your rabbi is all based on you. It's not based on me. If you watch every one of my lectures, you study extensively all the things that we've said, you follow all of it, and when you ask for guidance, no matter whether you agree or disagree with what I said to you, you follow it, then I become your rabbi. But if you're going to debate and disagree and simply not follow and go shopping around and all the different things, then stop wasting my time. Why? Because I don't have a benefit in being a rabbi for anybody. The benefit is the people's. So if I'm already going to take time to invest into a person, then at the very least they need to do their part. But if they're simply not listening, it's simply a waste of time that I can use for other people. And that's why, generally speaking, the people that have succeeded the most in learning from any rabbi, and I've seen from my own personal experience, from my students all over the world, there's all types of people, Baruch Hashem, tens of thousands of people that listen to my shiurim. But the most successful ones are the ones that listened and did what I said. Not because I said it, but because I'm guiding them based on the Torah. If a monkey said the same thing and it's based on the Torah, it would be true also. And the people that held to it without fighting, without debating, just simply they do it, they succeed. And the people that say, but I'm not sure, I'm not that, unfortunately, their success was limited, much more limited. In some cases, they had many failures. It all depends on what degree of rejection they had. So it's important for a person to make themselves a rabbi, as the Torah says in Mishnah and Masechet Avot, multiple times. In the 6th Mishnah it says it already in the 1st chapter, and multiple other times it says it across the Shas. It's an obligation for a Jew to have a rabbi, so much so that God hates a person that does not have a rabbi. He's referring to Jews though. Jews are obligated to have a rabbi. Non-Jews don't have an obligation to have a rabbi. They certainly need to have the guidance of the Torah, but they don't have an obligation to have a rabbi. Some are fortunate to have one, some are not. But the key is to know that a Jew is obligated to have one because the rabbi is the one that's going to get you to Gan Eden. You're not going to get yourself there by yourself. But if you're not following what the rabbis say, and you're simply just following whatever you understand, and you think that you understand just as well as someone's been studying for a long time and has guidance and has a rabbi themselves and so on, unfortunately, you're stunting your own growth, and that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people do it where they give the rabbi the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the laws they have no concept of, like, their kashrut of their food or their dishes, different types of shlom bayit advice from time to time. But, many times the bigger decisions in life, they don't even consider talking to the rabbi. And if they do, if the rabbi doesn't say what they want, they simply just don't listen. And that's unfortunate, because that means that they don't really have a rabbi. Many people pretend to have a rabbi, though. They could even call their rabbi whenever they want, but it's not really their rabbi. So that's one of the things that a person needs to understand. If you're going to arrive at certain conclusions, make sure that those conclusions are based on what our masoret is, what our tradition is, which is from Moshe Rabbeinu to Yeshua ben Nun, Yeshua to the Skenim, the elders to the prophets to the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, down all of the sages, the Zugot, the Tanaim, the Amoraim, the Savoraim, the Geonim, the Rishonim, the Achronim, and even the local rabbi that you have, and the rabbis and Talmidei Chachamim of our generation. You have that tradition. But if you're simply just arriving at conclusions based on your own logic, it can be very, very problematic, and unfortunately, it's usually one of the key doors to heresy. It's initially, it looks like intellect and cleverness, but eventually it turns out to be heresy. So a person has to be careful with conjuring up their own logic that's not in line with what the Masoret is.